I never do second takes for the videos that I make. I literally just turn it on and start going. But this one has been difficult to start out, and so this is like my 4th time starting this video out. So here we go, 4th time's a charm. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Chloe. I help people get out of diet culture and get into their intuition to get their period back and to feel just good in their body. If you like this type of content, if you are someone who's struggling with amenorrhea or stuck in quasi-recovery or just have a really not a positive, so more a negative relationship with food and body and exercise, I really would recommend going and clicking the subscribe button so you get notified every single time that I come out with a new video. Also, make sure you click the like button, guys. It's really a great way to say thank you for creating content. I know that ever since I have started creating content myself, that's the first thing I do now when I go and I watch someone's video, because I'm just like, you know what, you spent the time to put this information here. Even if I don't agree with everything in it, I'm going to say thank you because I learned something, I sat here, I watched it, and so I always make sure that I click the like button now, just because I know that really helps YouTubers and their content that they create. Anyways, let's get on to this video. I lost it all. So life is a classroom. I'm just gonna dive into this, guys. 4th time's the charm. I just gotta get into it. So hear me out here. This might be a little jumbled up for a second, but there's a really good point that I want to make. I'm not just sharing the fact that I lost over $1 million for no reason. There is a good reason why I'm sharing this. Life is a classroom, and I feel like life just gives us a lot of opportunities to learn. Me going through my eating disorder journey was such an invitation for self-growth and development and just progressing and learning all these life lessons that are super, super valuable. And as I, have moved away from my eating disorder recovery journey and I step into kind of the rest of my life, I've come up with so many different life lessons, and some of them are the same. And so, before this whole eating disorder started for me, I really just felt inadequate, to be quite honest. I felt like all of my siblings, I'm one of 6, and so I have a lot of siblings, I have a lot of family members, a lot of cousins, all of that, and I just felt like everyone was better than me. Everyone was prettier, everyone was smarter, everyone was more intelligent, and I just kind of always felt like I was very just inadequate, and I wasn't, I didn't have as much self-worth as other people. And that partly is what kind of drove me into my eating disorder, was this idea of okay, so in order for me to quote unquote prove myself, to prove my worth, to show people that I am, a worthy human being, someone to be admired, I'm going to have the perfect body. And so that started a lot of my eating disorders, was just this idea of I have to look like the models. I have to have the abs. I have to have the thigh gap. I have to have all these things. And if I don't, that means that my life pretty much accounts to nothing. Now, if you know me, I'm whoa, geez, me now, I'm oh, poor little 13-year-old me, how could I think that? Of course I'm worth something, no matter what body size or shape. But that was the lesson that I had to learn. And, I went through this with my body, I have to have the perfect body, but I also went through this with my bank account. I valued myself, who I am, my worth, based off of the number in my bank account. And so over the years, I grinded. I worked jobs that I hated just to make money. I took, 18 credits at school while having 4 jobs. I was just always trying to prove myself by making more money, by eating cleaner, by being skinnier, by having the athletic body, X, Y, and Z. I was always trying to prove myself because I felt like I wasn't anything. I didn't feel like I was anything. And the lesson that I needed to learn over these years is that life is so much more than your bank account. Life is so much more than your body. Life is so much more than if you have six-pack abs. Life is so much more than if you have a thigh gap. And boy, did I learn this lesson, I really learned this lesson in my eating disorder, and then it was like, life was just like, we're going to make sure you actually learn this lesson, and we're going to just deplete your bank account. And that was so hard for me, guys. First off, I do want to mention that, yes, while, my father does, he has his own business and he does well for himself, and I've been really blessed to be well taken care of in my life, I do just want to state that this money that I lost, every single cent I earned. Like, every single cent. Like I said, I worked my butt off. Don't want to swear on here. So I worked my little tushy off for so many years, and I invested my money from an early age. I've been involved in cryptocurrency for such a long time, and I have been able to do very well for myself. So yes, I am privileged in some ways, but I just wanted to share that, this wasn't just Dad's money that he gave to me. I actually, guys, I worked for 2 years after graduating from college. I worked as a house cleaner, and that's how I made my first, $200K, was literally cleaning houses and nannying. And so, again, that was hard work to make this money. And then, obviously, I have my business and all of that, and then the investments. But let's get back to the story here. So this past year, I made a couple really big mistakes in my investing strategy, and I lost over $1.4 million, pretty much everything I had. So I'm back to a really a really low point compared to where I was at even just a couple months ago. And gosh, you guys, to my brain, who's sitting here going you are only worthy if you have a big bank account, or people are only going to want to be around you if you're wealthy, or you're not going to get married or have a partner unless you have, a lot of money to your name. Oh my gosh, you guys, the lesson I learned here. And the reason why I'm sharing the money thing is because I feel like in this world, we're just bombarded with this idea that money and of the perfect body is the two things that you should strive for in life. And again, that's what I was striving for. I gotta have the perfect body, and I have to have the really nice house, and I have to have the big bank account, the nice car, the nice gadgets, all those things. This was what I strived for my whole life, again, because I think it's just really, it's kind of the push of society of you gotta have that, that six-figure paying job. You gotta have you gotta have the six-pack abs. You gotta have all these things. And, I don't think having money is a bad thing. I want to be very clear on that. I don't think wanting to have money and to be financially stable and everything is a bad goal for yourself. But hear me out. I was thinking that my life could only be great if I had money. And I learned such a big lesson this year when I watched my bank account just dwindle, and when, the past couple of years I purposely gained over 50 pounds in the matter of just a couple months to get my period back, and I lost my six-pack abs. I didn't go to the gym. I was eating donuts and Oreos and steak and butter, and I was eating all these things and just going completely against diet culture and this idea of this is what it means to be healthy and beautiful and all of that. And I lost it. I lost it all, and I lost the money. And you know what's so crazy, and this is what I was thinking about this morning, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling and this makes no sense, guys, but bear with me, there's a message here. I was washing my car this morning, and I was just I'm so happy right now. I haven't been this happy in my life, and despite all these things that have happened to me. And I'm literally, sorry, there's I can feel it, tears are coming up. But the last couple days, I've spent it's been 3 days straight I've spent with some amazing friends, like amazing people in this world. Just so kind, so thoughtful, so loving. And I've spent the last 3 days straight just in nature with them. We've gone to the hot springs. We went on all these hikes. We went just adventuring in the backcountry. We did all of these things. And I literally left my phone at home. Like, it wasn't even just, oh, I'm not looking at my phone. No, like, no, my phone wasn't even on me. It was 3 days of complete, just like, I don't even know what time it is. And it was just 3 days of basking in love and basking in nature. And I've never been just so happy. And here I was, and I'm with people who, yeah, you know, they're not millionaires, my friends. They don't have the perfect bodies, whatever that means. They don't have any of that. Here we are, just these human beings, and we're in nature, and we're just laughing, talking, and hugging, and kissing, and doing all these things, and we're just like, I'm just like, I feel so grounded and so happy and so loved. And you know what? This is the lesson that I've learned, and this is the message that I hope you guys can get out of this, is that we think that life is just about these goals to reach for. It's just about making the money, or it's just about having the body. And honestly, I've had it. I had the $1 million, and I had the quote unquote perfect body. And you know what? So unhappy. And again, I'm not saying like money's a bad thing or something like that. But I'm saying that there's different ways you can go about wanting money and making money. And me, again, I was doing it to prove my worth. My life's only going to be happy if I have this much in my bank account. And gosh, you guys, it was a big lesson that just got slapped in my face this year. Just like, yep, you can't think that anymore. You have to stop valuing your life off of your body or off of your bank account. And you may be doing it off of your body. You may be doing it too off of your bank account, or you may be doing it off of something else, some other metric that you're using in your life. You can only be happy, you can only be loved, you can only like have a good time and a joyous life if you reach these things. And you know what? You guys, no. The happiest moments in my life have been just when I'm around people that I love. When I'm around a dinner table and we're just sharing food. Oh my gosh, the amount of food that we ate this weekend. We got chocolate croissants, we had cake, we had sandwiches, we had like all these just yummy things, and we just shared every single meal. It wasn't everyone just gets their own meal. It was just family style. Let's get a bunch of things and let's just all share. Lamb kebabs and hummus and pita and like all these things. And gosh, it's just the laughter, the smiles, the intimacy, the love. It's just all of that is just, again, I'm walking out of this for the last 3 days, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, my heart is so full. I'm like, yeah, just the lesson that I keep on learning, that one, it doesn't matter. Your body, the bank account, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. My friends love me for who I am, which leads me to the second thing I learned of like, no matter what I look like, who I am, how much I have, I am a worthy, beautiful, amazing individual. And that doesn't affect my value or my worth. And so life sometimes teaches you in ways that you really would rather it not. Would I rather still have all that money in my bank account? Totally. Trust me, guys. I've had my crying sessions over this. I went through a severe anxiety attack it happened in May last year. And it destroyed me. It destroyed me in so many ways. And here I am just a couple months later, after working through this with a therapist and really really having to kind of grow up and look at my life and be like, okay, you can sit here and sulk, Chloe. You can sit here and be so depressed that you lost that money, or you can literally just own it, be like, yes, I lost it, that sucks, I need to move on. This isn't going to dictate my life and the happiness that I can have. And so this past couple months has been me really focusing on the things that matter most in my life. And you guys, the number one thing that matters most to me in my life is my family and my friends, because that has the biggest impact on my happiness. When I have good relationships with friends, it's like, and I'm talking about good relationships, like the people that it's like, we don't even need to like make plans on Friday night. We just know we're hanging out on Friday night. Like those type of people. You have your group, the people that you do things with, you have commonalities, you love to adventure together. Family, gosh, family is such a huge thing for me, and being able to eat together with my family every single night, and being able to adventure with my friends and not be picky about like, oh my gosh, no, we're eating chips, no, I can't have chocolate croissants, no, what are we doing? Like to just be free and to be able to flow with them and just adventure and do all those things, like that matters so much to me, because when I do those things, when I'm sitting with my family, when I'm laughing with my friends, it's like, this is what life's about. This is what life's about. So, this past season of my life has been putting things into perspective. And it's been a game changer. And anytime I get anxious, anytime I'm like, what's happening in my life? And oh my gosh, like, my body's different, or my bank account's changed. Like, anytime I have to remember what matters most here. And I know we need money to survive. I know, but I'm saying what matters most. At the end of the day, my freedom matters. Freedom from the eating disorder voice. Freedom to choose the foods that I eat without having someone else, some book or diet or something dictate how I eat. Freedom to choose my friends. I can choose whether I let something completely tear me down or whether I use that as an opportunity to grow and to become stronger. I don't know who needed to hear this video. Maybe it was just good for me to express. But it's really been on my heart lately as I have just experienced so much joy and so much happiness and realized, wow, none of that came from the things that society told me it would come from. To be honest, back when my bank account was over $1 million, I was so unhappy in my life. I was prioritizing the wrong things. I was valuing myself way too much on my money, getting a little prideful. And so, in a way, although I know it sucks, it really sucks. Obviously, again, I wish that it didn't happen. But I'm looking back at this now and I go, that was the only way I was going to learn this. Honestly, that was the only way. And I look at my eating disorder. Maybe you can look at this in your life and be like, is this the only way I'm going to learn self-love? So instead of me being so mad that I'm in this situation, I have this eating disorder and I'm so confused about what to eat all the time and I don't know how much I should exercise and I hate my body and all that, I get it, and it sucks. It really sucks. But can you lean into the lessons that you can learn? And I promise you that when you do, that's when everything starts to change. So, I lost it all. And what did I gain? Everything. I gained everything from losing it all. So you may be sitting here so scared about, I'm so used to having abs and small thighs and I'm used to being petite and tiny. I can't lose this. It seems scary to lose things, right? But I think that, we're often not looking at the things that we can gain. You can gain so much by losing your attachment to diet culture. You can gain so much by losing your tiny, petite body. You can gain so much. You need to focus on that. Just like I had to focus on when I left my eating disorder. I was like, what am I gaining here? I'm getting food freedom. I'm gaining the ability to sit down with my family and eat dinner. I'm getting the ability to travel. I'm gaining the freedom of my mind to now focus on other things. I'm gaining so much here, and I focused on that, guys. That was a huge drive in my recovery. That was the only way I could recover, was I was so focused on everything that I was going to gain by doing this. When I lost all that money, same thing. What did I do? Great. What do I need to learn here? How can I still wake up every morning with the knowledge of this is what just happened in my life and still just put my feet on the ground, hug a friend, and be like, what really matters most here? I gained a lot doing that journey, and I'm really, really thankful for it. Really, really thankful. And I think when we can start being thankful for the lessons that come our way, let me put it this way, when we can start being thankful for the hardships that come our way, that's when we learn lessons. And when we learn lessons, that's when we grow, that's when we evolve, and that's when we ultimately just come back to ourselves, when we tap into our heart space, when we're living more authentically. And that really, I feel like that's the journey of life. I feel like we're like this onion, and we're just constantly shedding layers and layers and layers, just trying to get to this space right here. So I lost it all, and yet my heart is so big right now. It's so big. I have so much love for just so many different things in my life. And that love is what is helping me get over all the things that I lost. So, kind of random video today. I hope that that was helpful. I hope that there was a message or two that you got from that. And if not, well then this was really helpful for me to express this in a video form, just to really solidify that, like, yeah, this has been a big growing season, and I'm really thankful for it, because every time I grow, I learn something that helps me be truly happy. Not this fake happiness that all these things were kind of were telling me I would get if I went after them. And so I know your eating disorder voice is telling you you're going to be happy from listening to it. I'm just telling you from my experience, you won't be. You won't be. It's not true happiness. It's not true happiness at all. So yeah, sometimes we need to lose ourselves, lose our identities, lose the diet we're attached to, lose the body we're attached to. Sometimes we need to lose that so that we can learn a really big lesson. And I think at the end of the day, those who go through this journey and learn those lessons are going to come out of it being like, yeah, I'm super thankful for that. I'm super thankful for you guys and for watching all my videos and following me on Instagram. And for those of you guys who have signed up for the Get Your Flow On course, I'm really, really excited about that. And, you know, just one little note on that, guys. I've embedded this type of stuff into the course because it's not just about eating more. It's not. It's not about eating more, and it's not about just resting. Like, yes, that's a part of the recovery journey, but there's something so much bigger here. And I feel like when we really tap into that, that's when we really fully recover. When we understand that there's something so much bigger going on here, and that there are so many big, capital L life lessons for you to be learning. So anyways, the course pre-order has officially opened up. The course will be coming out like the first week of February. I have to get nose surgery done because I broke my nose a couple years ago and I can't breathe. So I'm getting nose surgery on the 27th. So I decided to pre-order right now, get into the course, solidify your spot, and we will open up officially like the first week or so of February. And I'm really excited for everyone to be going through that because, whew, guys, I know just the joy and the happiness that recovery will bring you. And so this course was made completely out of my heart. I'm going to be in the community section every day with my heart and my soul and just everything just there present, really wanting to help you ladies who join to get to a really beautiful place in your life. So that's all from me today, guys. I will see you later.